here. So guys, this is Earl Dixon, the Bitcoin man. Today is Sunday, and I want to thank God for for reviving us and giving us another chance to be good stewards. Woo, to be good stewards and try to make a difference in this world. The world need good people to to show your love. This world needs love, guys. This world literally needs love. And we got another chance to show some love and try to make it a better place as we're passing through. Because that's all we're doing. We're on a journey and we're passing through. And we all should leave an impact on this world to make it a better place. So today we're here. We're going to talk about some things. If you're new and you're new into this space with digital currency and you have not got your feet wet, there are some things that you need to do to start your journey of leveraging dumb money and smart money. And if you're new here, you won't understand that terminology and something you can become a little bit offended until you see the video. And then if you finally ever get a chance to see the video, you will know exactly why we call it dumb money, because it's money for dummies. So and you won't be offended ever again when you hear that term dumb money. But we started somewhere. We hadn't seen the video um on what the bank do with our money. So today I'm bringing on a guest. I'm gonna play you a little of a video. He's gonna give you some key facts about money's going. We're going to what we call a paperless society. We're going to a cash-free society, and a lot of people is not taking it serious. But in Sweden has already made a commitment that they're gonna be kind of like China, a totally cashless society in a very short period of time. So other nations will be following suit very soon, creating their own CBDCs, central banks, digital currency, and money as you know it now will not be the same. Somebody on this platform, tell me what one of the first forms of money was. Anybody know?
Gold and silver.
All right, gold and silver. Anybody else?
Cattle.
Cattle, yep. Go ahead. That's what I'm talking about. When last time you traded a cow to get some goods and services from your grocery store? Been a long time, right? Yeah, we don't.
Yep, before my time.
What'd you say, Miranda?
It's called bartering.
Yeah, exactly. So you used to could trade seashells for items, products, and services. Seashells was used as a form of cash back in the day. So money has literally derived, and we're so used and accustomed to that paper money, that cash. The thought of it going to something else is a little scary. But when you think about where money has derived from to get to where it is today, it's been a heck of a journey. Not too long ago, where people really wasn't familiar with credit cards, and all they were depending on was checks and cash. And when the credit card came out, I think somebody said it was like in the 70s is when the credit card first became very prominent. People started using them, but now it's a way of life. So let me go over and I'm gonna show you guys a video that I think is important, so you can see where we're going. After that, we watch that video, we're gonna ask a couple of questions, talk about what we saw, and then we got some new people on who really want to start their journey and getting started with digital currency. We're gonna make some suggestions for you about how you get started, and then we'll talk about. And we're gonna probably be about a good hour and 15 minutes. I'm gonna try to be out of here about an hour and 15 minutes because I'm gonna go to sleep as soon as this is over. I really am. I like taking a Sunday nap. Ooh, ain't nothing like that Sunday nap for me. Y'all can call me old if you want to.
Dinner.
Huh?
This is in the middle of me cooking my dinner.
Oh, is that right? Can you manage it while you look at this too as well?
Oh yeah, I can hear it. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So there's a video I'm gonna play right now that's gonna be good for everybody. All right, so let me go ahead and get started. Lula, welcome to the platform. Glad to see you. So let me go ahead and start this video. Let me get to the video. All right, go to the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and screen share. Make sure I turn my sound on. All right, turn my sound on. And okay, let me go out to Chrome. Go to Chrome. Pull up the video so you guys can see it. It should be popping up in just a second. There you go. All right, now where I got to go over to is YouTube. Yeah, I need to restore those pages. I'll give my computer a minute to. What is that? Hold on. I got to find that wherever it is. I'm trying to find that video. Give me a second. Okay, there it is. All right, now we can go over and look at the video that I wanted to show you guys. Since I got a handle on what's going on my computer. Okay, let's go here. Go to YouTube. Okay. Now, all right. Go to my history. History, your channel. All right. And I should see the video I want to play for you guys. Other history. All right. There it is right here, front and center. All right. So this is a video I want to play for you guys. All right. So this video right here, the title of this video is Cashless World, the biggest assault on your freedom. So whether you like it or not, whether you like it or not, we're going to a cashless society. And you hear the big buzz about Bitcoin and digital currency. Let me know if y'all can see the screen. Can y'all see the screen? Let me know. Somebody on the.
There's nothing here yet. It's a blank screen.
Okay. Okay. Did anybody else see the screen?
Nope, it's dark.
Okay, let me stop then. All right. Now I'm going to do a screen share. All right. What about now?
Yeah, there it is. Collect.
Monopoly board.
Yep. Yep. So this video, the title of this video is let's see. Cashless. It says cashless world, the biggest assault on your freedom. So this guy right here has his own YouTube channel. He's one of my mentors that I follow and keep up with him, and I learn tidbits from him. I got like 10 or 20 people that's smarter than me, and I listen to them each day, and I pick up something new. So yeah, I'm gonna let him share with you some stuff today that's gonna be life-changing so that you will know why. The whole goal on our platform is to educate our people and show them why they need to be involved, why they need to be plugged in and embracing the technological change. Right now we're at the mercy of PayPal, who made $17.7 billion on us last year. Cash Out made 1.1 billion. And many companies, Square made 1.1 billion last year, and we're at the mercy of them because they don't own no money. PayPal don't own no money. Cash Out don't own no money. That's you sending your money. So we got to be smart about where we put our money and who we allow to send the money that we have. And if it's not something in it for us, where what you call community reinvestment, where we're getting something back for the use of our life, because our money represents our life. And every time you trade an hour for $1, that's your life you traded for it. So you want to make sure you're getting the most mileage out of your money once you get that money, because if you go ahead and spend that money haphazardly, that portion of your life that you traded for, you don't get a chance to get that back. So let's look at this video and see what this gentleman got to tell us and see what we can learn so we can teach some people in our community. I'm gonna go ahead and get started.
Why do you hold crypto? Are you in it for the technology, or are you in it for those crazy gains? If it's the latter, then that's nothing to be ashamed of. That's what draws most people to crypto. But it does beg the question, why do we need crypto in the first place? Is it all about spinning the wheel in that altcoin casino and getting more dollars? Well, today I'm going to expose how terrifying traditional payment systems are and how they are consolidating power over your financial freedoms into the hands of governments and fat cat CEOs. All that's to help you understand a really important reason for holding crypto. I'll also reveal some worrying trends that could enslave us all in a dystopian world ruled by corporate oligopolies and oppressive governments. Sorry, folks, I need to take this one. Hello, Mr. Lawyer? Yes, I'm actually in the middle of shooting another crypto video. Can this wait? Yep, I'll tell them that. Yep. So, apparently I need to tell you that I am not a financial advisor, and that means that everything in this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Now, with that expensive interruption out of the way, I want to give a warm welcome to anyone new to the channel. Hello and welcome to the Bureau. This channel is your resource for the best crypto reviews, news, and insights. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, then you can have my thoughts on tap by smashing that subscribe button. If you want that all-important free refill, then flick that notification bell. That will let you know when this crypto guy has something else to share with you. And finally, a wise man once said that time is money. Well, in a crypto bull market, that couldn't be more true. That's why I've popped some handy timestamps below. You can use them to jump ahead to the sections of the video you're most interested in. So, what is the New World Order you should know about? Let's shine a light on it. To kick things off, I should briefly explain why digital payments are important. Put simply, those card payments and PayPal transactions that you take for granted drive commerce and the global economy. I mean, think about how much harder things would be if you had to send Jeff Bezos a handful of seashells or a load of cash if you wanted to get that hot item on Amazon. So yes, digital payments are super important for us to function as a society and to get the things we need. For example, think about the last time you paid with something like a bank card, PayPal, or WeChat Pay. I bet it was only a few hours ago. Sure, there are a ton of benefits with using all those types of traditional payment systems. It's okay to go for a jog and lose that bank card. All you need to do is ring up your friendly bank and ask them to cancel that card, or just freeze it on a banking app and get them to send you out a new one. You don't lose your money, and your money is safe. Easy, right? Maybe you bought that Bitcoin online for tens of thousands of dollars using PayPal, only to discover that you were sent a bit of metal stamped with the Bitcoin logo. It's all okay. You can submit that payment dispute to get your money back. Also, if you spend on a credit card, you can earn some pretty insane perks too. Shout out to all those credit card points hunters. Now, with all those types of benefits, I hope you can see why so many people are scratching their heads and wondering why we even have those paper rectangles that we call cash. Well, let's be honest, when was the last time you used a banknote to buy anything? Personally, I'm having a hard time finding anyone to accept my crisp 20 quid note with all this COVID stuff flying about. The thing is that this thought experiment of a cashless society turns out to be a real thing and not a bonkers idea cooked up by some academic in an ivory tower. I'm not making this up, folks. Sweden has made the pretty bold move to consign cash payments to the history books by March 2023 and be a fully cashless society. Those Swedes are doing that by introducing their own central bank digital currency, or CBDC, called the e-krona. That means every transaction over there will be digital. Now, it seems that many other governments and central banks agree that a cashless society is just the natural evolution of money. I mean, 70% of all central banks are involved in CBDC research of some kind. And if you want to learn more about the ins and outs of CBDCs, then you should watch my dedicated video on them. That's in the top right of the screen. So it seems pretty clear where the trend is going. In short, cash is pointless, and we should embrace the future of a cashless society. I mean, thinking anything else would be idiotic, right? Why not kick back, relax, and wait for that new era of a truly cashless society to come about? While you're doing that and sipping some soothing chamomile tea, I'm going to tell you how screwed over you are getting by using digital payment solutions like PayPal, WeChat Pay, credit and debit cards. So, let's move on to that fun topic, shall we? Let's start with those good old-fashioned credit cards, which give consumers like us all those loyalty points and perks out of the goodness of their hearts. Yes, you can benefit from them. However, here's the deal. There have been numerous studies about how consumers with access to large amounts of credit are more likely to use that credit and spend more. Logically, this all makes sense. I mean, if a normal person walks into a Louis Vuitton without a credit card, how many people can actually afford to buy that snazzy 1,000 quid man bag? However, walk into that store with a credit card and chances are that pretty much anyone could splash that cash, get those credit card points, and use that bag to carry around their Trezor wallet. I'm joking, of course. I would never suggest anyone buy an LV lad bag. Oh, and walking around with a hardware wallet probably ain't that safe either. But a fashion faux pas and cybersecurity are not your biggest problems. If you don't pay back that credit at the end of the month, then you're going to pay an insane rate of interest. That's a key way that the likes of American Express make money. Another positive effect for governments is that access to credit boosts consumer consumption in the short term. Pretty handy if you're only worried about a several-year term in office. But what is credit? Well, it's simply a mechanism of bringing future cash flows forward to today. So yes, that debt needs to be repaid later and means that long-term economic growth is hampered. However, most politicians out there don't really need to care about that, as they'll likely be out of office when the chickens come home to roost. In a way, credit cards are a sort of trap. I mean, back in my youth, if I was given a credit card with a £10,000 limit, then the chances are that this crypto guy would have partied harder than Fatboy Slim. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't get that credit card until I was a bit more financially responsible. If I had got into that debt trap, I might not even be here on YouTube today. But wait, you might say. Digital payments are not all that bad because we have debit cards. You get most of the functionality of credit cards with the benefits of cash, right? Use a debit card and you can only spend the cash you have. Yes, all that is true. However, there is a major drawback, and that would be merchant fees. Those are the fees charged by the Visas and MasterCards of this world to the merchants to accept your payment. So how big are those fees? About 3% and a 30-cent fee per transaction. Now, that may not sound like very much. However, Visa processes trillions of dollars in payments a year. Getting a 3% cut on that isn't too shabby. And practically speaking, this means that when you pop down to your local convenience store and buy that bottle of Coke for $2 on your Visa card, that shop owner pays 30 cents for the transaction and an additional 6 cents for the transaction volume. According to my quick maths, that's a cost of 36 cents to the merchant. In other words, 18% of that $2 sale has been taken by Visa. So for cheaper items, those Visa and MasterCard fees are brutal. So are these store owners just gritting their teeth and paying the extra fee begrudgingly? I'm afraid not. All they do is pass on that fee to the customer in the form of higher prices. And what all that means is that merchants are effectively already socializing the price of digital payments using traditional payment providers like Visa by charging the same inflated price regardless of whether you're paying by card or not. Now, I don't know about you, but as a customer, I want to pay the lowest price possible for the goods and services that I buy. This merchant fee problem that leads to higher prices is also true of the likes of PayPal. I shudder to think about how much in fees I forked out over to those guys in my lifetime. But wait, maybe those not-so-communist communists in China have a better solution with WeChat Pay. After all, no annoying card machines are needed for stores, and there are basically no merchant fees to speak of. That must be the perfect payment solution for a cashless society, right? Well, yes, WeChat Pay is perfectly fine, provided that you don't mind the Chinese Communist Party knowing every transaction you make. To put things into perspective, WeChat is basically China's version of Twitter, Facebook, Google Maps, Tinder, and Apple Pay, all packed up into one app. Imagine if you were a slightly questionable government and had direct control over that. I wonder what you would use it for. Oh yes, I know, social control over your population. To give you an example of the dangers of a cashless society, you need look no further than Hong Kong. When protests there were popping off, a lot of people wanted to attend those pro-democracy gatherings. So, how to get there? Well, in a city as dense as Hong Kong, you're most likely going to use public transport. In Hong Kong, a contactless smart card called an octopus card is used to pay for that train or bus fare. But guess what? People stopped using their octopus card to move around Hong Kong during the protests. The reason why was the fear that the Chinese government could use that transaction data to determine who had taken part in a protest and most likely be rewarded with a one-way ticket to mainland China. So, those smart Hong Kongers turned to cash to ensure they didn't leave a digital trace of where they'd gone. But unfortunately, in a cashless society using only WeChat Pay, that anonymity simply wouldn't be possible. Step out of line and the chances are you'll be disappeared. So, in China, WeChat Pay could be a great solution if you completely agree with the Chinese Communist Party. If you don't, then the CCP can tap into WeChat and leverage one of the greatest government surveillance networks on the planet to catch you. Now, I know almost all of you will be holding crypto. Yet, how many transactions do you make without a Visa, MasterCard, a credit card, PayPal, or WeChat? I don't imagine it's many at all. The point here is that the vast majority of the world's payments are being processed by a small handful of companies, or governments in the case of China. It's an oligopoly of payment providers, if you will. But why is this silent rise of payment oligopolies a problem, and what's the value of a crypto alternative to all this? Well, do you remember that trend of a move towards cashless societies? Think about what that means for the likes of Visa and PayPal. In short, it will result in these companies having almost total control over financial transactions. Yeah, a move to a cashless society would make these payment businesses even more powerful. Now, it seems quite apparent that with all that wealth inequality happening right now, that capitalism does have some flaws. But, in my humble opinion, it is the best system out of a range of bad options. The thing is that this payment oligopoly has the potential to break capitalism itself if it is left to operate freely in a cashless society. The reason why is that capitalism is essentially a voting system. But instead of casting ballots, people vote with their wallets. So that means that people cast more monetary votes for popular items like a PS5 and fewer for things like my merchandise store, for instance. In a nutshell, that's how capitalism really works. However, payment providers in this cashless society have an opportunity to rig that vote. So, how do they do that? Well, as private companies, they have the right to tell customers to get lost. A bit like what I do when I find scammers in my comments section. One of the best ways to demonstrate the power that the likes of Visa and MasterCard would have in a cashless society is by looking at online businesses that have been denied service by these payment providers. After all, it's highly impractical to send cash to an online business to pay for things. An example of that happening recently to an online business would be Pornhub. Now, no matter how you feel about pornography or the egregious videos that are sometimes uploaded, should it really be up to the likes of MasterCard to decide if that business succeeds or fails? Also, should these payment providers be allowed to disrupt that monetary vote which underpins capitalism? Put simply, if a business in a cashless society is denied service by payment providers, then they'll be completely excluded from the traditional financial system. Indeed, the only way for that business to survive would be to find a payment method outside of the financial system. Now, I wonder what solution that could be. Well, in Pornhub's case, they turned to crypto and added support for over a dozen cryptocurrencies. All that meant that Pornhub was able to continue receiving payments, and even better, they wouldn't have to pay those 3% merchant fees and 30-cent transaction fees either. Potentially good news for the connoisseurs of that type of paid product, as it will probably mean lower prices. Now, with that being said, I have to admit that I have not personally researched those Pornhub prices and compared them pre and post the Visa and MasterCard ban. This crypto stud can't be getting distracted from those cryptocurrency markets after all. So, there is one of the key values of crypto right there. In today's system, payments can circumvent those payment providers by using cash, at least for bricks and mortar businesses that are still allowed to operate. However, we need to be aware that these paper rectangles are unlikely to be an option forever, with that shift to a cashless society being ever clearer. So in that cashless world, what other reasonable alternatives are there to use apart from cryptocurrencies? Well, I honestly cannot think of any. Seriously, folks, we need to really value that alternative, because a lack of alternatives to the system means enslavement by the system. I don't know about you, but I don't really feel it's fair that these payment providers have this much power. So I now hope you can see why I think cashless societies are bloody scary. But things get even worse if we take a look a bit deeper into a really dystopian financial future. One recent bit of news that seemingly paves the way for a cashless society in the US would be the US regulator authorizing federally chartered banks to transact using stablecoins or even issue their own. What's interesting is that the Office for the Comptroller of the Currency, or OCC, made specific reference to the benefits of stablecoins when it comes to cheaper, faster, and more efficient payments. It's almost as if that US regulator thinks stablecoins are a great idea. Honestly, my take on this is that these types of stablecoins are nothing but a precursor to a fully fledged CBDC. But that's not all. We also have had disclosures from the Treasury Department that they are evaluating the benefits of a government-sponsored stablecoin, aka a CBDC. To be honest, folks, there is a lot more to this than meets the eye. But that's something for another video. Oh wait, I've already made one, and you can learn more about my stablecoin conspiracy theory by watching the video linked to in the top right. So, why do I think that this future cashless society will become even worse with CBDCs? Well, think about the excessive control, tax automation, and data collection that will be open to governments. It would be like WeChat Pay on steroids. Now, I'm no fan of private companies meddling with capitalism and our economic freedoms, but at least a company cannot send you to prison or confiscate your money on a whim. The government, on the other hand, can, and that's a massive potential problem for all our freedoms and liberties. Maybe you'll attend a protest that the government doesn't approve of. Then that government, which is meant to serve the people, can simply just round people up based on what they have bought with that government-issued CBDC. Not cool, if you ask me. The truth is that this dystopian nightmare isn't as far off as you may think. China has already started distributing the digital yuan. As a New Year's celebration, the city of Shenzhen is offering residents the option to take part in a lottery. So, what's the prize? Well, 100,000 people will get 200 digital yuan. That's about $31 each. So yes, the Chinese government is basically doing an airdrop and is already releasing its CBDC into the wild. The age of CBDCs is already upon us.
We can't hear you.
All right, so it means what he meant was that when he talk about an airdrop, for those people who participated in that study with the Chinese dollar, called the Chinese yuan, they sent them $30 each. And as long as you set up that wallet and got the Chinese wallet set up, like they're gonna do in the United States of America. Once they set up those wallets, they knew who had those wallets. And they sent $30 to each of those wallets and allowed people to spend the money out of those wallets. Well, they were used to using WeChat and Alipay. And the people who are using, kind of like us using Cash App and Venmo, the people in China, they appreciated the $30, but they kind of like using what they already use. So the airdrop part that you hear them talking about, that's when you have a wallet and they simply put digital currency in your wallet for a special reason. So I just want to highlight that and what that meant, okay?
In some parts of the world. Let's face it, the CCP can do whatever they want, and they can just force a CBDC on their population because they say so. Things are a little bit different in the West. For a government to make sweeping changes like that, they generally need a reason to justify it. Now, I'm going to level with you folks. This is a bit of conjecture. However, I'm sure you've heard the phrase, never let a good crisis go to waste. What I personally fear is that global governments may use this pandemic as the justification to roll out their new CBDCs. I mean, the assault on cash can already be seen across the world. Take Australia, for example. No joke, a controversial law was proposed that would have seen a ban on cash purchases above $10,000. What additional punishments were suggested for breaking this law?
Jail.
Just a mere 2 years in prison. Yes, that law was never passed.
All right, now let me reemphasize what he said. In Australia had a plan to put a law on the books to say that if you spent more than $10,000 at any given time in cash, that if they caught you spending more than $10,000 in cash, that you would do 3 years in prison, whether you wanted to go or not. I thought that was, didn't y'all think that that was y'all money? Cash money?
You would think so.
Yeah.
How would they determine when you have spent more than 10,000?
First of all, you got to be, by the time you go to the bank and you withdraw $10,000, they do what you call a suspicious SAR report, a suspicious activity report. So it starts at your bank when you go get that cash. They're not going to tell you that they're doing the SAR, but the next thing you know, the feds is knocking on your front door, coming to get you because they got the SAR report in their hand, and they're taking you to jail because the bank teller filled out their report. They let you get that cash. They filled out their report and they send it to the authorities, and they come to get you. Now, in the United States of America, right now, the Department of Justice, this past year, also gave banks the power in the United States of America, told bankers that if a person withdraw more than $5,000, that the tellers have the ability to fill out a SAR on you, whether you're sending a kid to college, paying off some bills, or providing health care to your grandparents. As long as if you remove 5,000, banks in America has already been given a green light to fill out that SAR report to you. Now, when they fill out a SAR report on you, that's called a suspicious activity report. They put you on the terrorist list, terrorist watch list, and you stay up there. You can't even get down off of that watch list after they fill out that SAR report. So government do have control. They're trying to maintain control. Now he's going to tell you that's what he's leading up to. Your real freedom, and I'll explain this more in detail in a few minutes, is operating with digital currency and having some different currencies in your portfolio that you can use in different ecosystems and get the benefits of those ecosystems. So let me let him go ahead and finish.
And seems to have been temporarily abandoned. But the point here is that there are people in government who are anti-cash, and all of this COVID stuff has meant that many people are afraid to use or accept it. That justification could be enough to sell the idea of a cashless society to the general public. But why could COVID be the thing that makes governments pull the trigger and roll out those CBDCs? Well, last time I checked, governments were racking up astronomical levels of debt, and even with all those stimulus measures, we are seeing a depression on the scale never seen in living memory. Now, an economy in the gutter places the government in a bit of a pickle when it comes to funding public spending and keeping its popularity. Moreover, most of you probably will live in a country with near zero interest rates. However, I happen to think that interest rates are likely to go negative. This is the economic stagnation that has plagued countries like Japan in its lost decade. However, if cash is still a thing in a world of negative interest rates, people would rather hoard that cash than have to pay a bank to store it. That's probably seen as a bit of a problem for governments. So the question is, how do they avoid that outcome? Well, it's simple. You outlaw cash and swap all that money in the system for your very own CBDC. Then the government can reap all of those CBDC benefits like tax automation, deepen state control,
All right, I stopped screen sharing for a reason, because this is something that we can discuss. Did you understand what he just said? Who understood what he just said? Come on, somebody. I know I can't be the only one.
In order for them to watch clean money or dirty money, if they go with that card service, then you cannot have dirty money.
Well,
Is that right?
well, what he's saying is, when you go to 0% interest rate, okay, it's so important and so key to understand what that means. 0% interest rates simply means that your bank will be sending you a statement very soon, like I got one last week, telling me that I no longer get that 1% or that 0.6% because they can't afford to pay me to give me no interest on my money. But instead, they're going to send you a letter telling you how much they're going to charge you to come get your money out their bank. And if you don't keep a certain amount of money, like I got my statement the other day, if I don't keep at least $300 worth of money in the bank, they're going to charge me service fees on my money that I have in the bank. So now the banks charge you to manage your money. So there is no payout to you whatsoever. So now what he just said was this. Most people who understand what 0% interest rate means, they're going to start holding hard cash at home. So when you start holding it, take that money out of the bank, you start storing it at your house, cash money. And you're not putting that money in the bank. They cannot control you. The banks cannot charge you fees to ensure their existence. In order for a bank to operate, they got to make money. And if you don't have no money in their bank because you're keeping it hard cash at home, how are they gonna make money? Y'all understand that?
Yep.
Yeah. So now, when we start keeping cash at home, that's a threat to the bank because they can't not make money off of bank accounts. So now what does that mean? That's where they come out with the CBDCs and say, get rid of the cash. And we'll give you government issued stable coins like a USDT. For every dollar that you have, you're gonna have to eventually turn this cash in. Okay, they're gonna tell you that this money, whether it's a 1 or 10 or 20 or 100, is no longer legal tender in the United States of America. Woo! God, y'all ain't hearing me.
I hear you.
Loud and clear.
They're gonna say, Jalen King, you got 30 days, baby, to get that cash in the bank and get you some CBDCs. Yes, ma'am. And you're gonna have a certain time to claim the cash under your bed mattresses, in your wall. That grandma put in a mason jar in your backyard. Because once they say that you got a certain time to get the cash and turn it in for a CBDC, once that deadline passed, you might as well take a match.
Set it on fire.
Huh?
Set it on fire.
Yeah, because it's illegal tender. It's gonna be outlawed. It'll be outlawed.
What about if you take it and turn it into gold? Buy gold.
That's what we look, or either digital currency. That's why
Yes.
that's why we having these workshops, because you got to start making that transition to being able to learn about digital currency, hedge digital currency, and what's going to happen in the future. And I'm gonna go back to the video to let him finish, and then we'll talk about what the future gonna look like as far as ecosystems is concerned, and what that means to you to be a part of that ecosystem. And will you need a lot of cash anyway? Well, when you get into digital currency, depending upon the ecosystem that you get into, there will probably be no need to have a lot of cash. Right now, the reason we use cash for a lot of stuff is to pay our bills. So as long as you can use crypto to buy food with, why you need cash? If you can use crypto to buy gas with, why you need cash? Okay. So once you get in these ecosystems to have these benefits, you'll find, like right now, I don't buy Bitcoin no more. I got Bitcoin making Bitcoin. Bitcoin makes Bitcoin for me. I'm in the ecosystem now. So I don't have to go to Cash App and buy Bitcoin. Okay. I did it eventually. I did it early. But now that I know how to use Bitcoin to make more Bitcoin itself, I don't have to go to Cash App and buy it. I got it. And it creates more. So let's go back over, look at the video. But I wanted to stop it there because I wanted you to realize that in the near future, when the banks, they just gave banks the green light to offer stable coins to you. Okay. So each nation now will have a right to come up with their own stable coin. And the minute that United States issue a stable coin, and they tell you that cash is no longer king, and they tell you to turn your money in, and the minute that you make that deposit in that CBDC, they know every dollar that you got. No longer will you have to file a tax report at the end of the year. Everywhere that cryptocurrency go, you're gonna have a number associated with the money that comes in your wallet and go out of your wallet. They'll know where you send it from and where you send it to. And they'll know how to tax you based on their records, because with the blockchain, a blockchain is a distributed ledger that records every transaction. There's a record on every transaction. And with crypto analysis software right now that governments are using, that's why they set up the CBDCs, so that they can track where the money is going. And once they get that set up, you won't have to file an income tax statement anymore. They're going to send you a statement. And then when you when you say that's wrong, they're going to say, okay, prove it otherwise. Because they're going to say, this is what we got right here on where you sent your money. This is where you've been sending your money, because we got a record of everywhere you send the CBDC. We know it. Now show us something you've been doing that we don't know. Yeah, that day is coming. So let's go over here now and let him finish.
Before you do that, I
Yeah.
may not be the only one. What is the acronym CBDC? What is that?
Central Bank Digital Currency.
Okay, I thought that's what it was.
Yep, Central Bank Digital Currency. That's where the central banks issue their own digital currency. Governments right now are setting them up, and they're making sure that the blockchains, the IMF, International Monetary Fund, is currently working on what they call interoperability. Interoperability is where the Bitcoin blockchain can talk to the Ripple blockchain. The Ripple blockchain can talk to the Ethereum blockchain. And once they make the connections of these different blockchains, at that point, they'll use crypto analysis software that will track that money from one blockchain to another blockchain, so that they can keep up with where you're going with your money. So they're getting interoperability in place now, so that they can offer the stable coins, so that when you start spending money on buying Bitcoin here, sending your money there, they can track where every transaction goes. That's what they're working on. That's interoperability. And their way of getting into the market is using the what? They're controlling you, is to issue those stable coins to you through the banking system. Right now, you can go out and you can buy USD Tether, which is more of a voluntary effort to get something that's decentralized that you choose. That you choose. You choose to do USD tether, but when the government says that the dollar is no longer good, and you use what we call the Fed coin now, if the Fed coin replaces the US dollar, and they say you must now use the Fed coin to do all transactions, and they'll still have $1, $1, $5, $10, the way we normally count our money. From $100 to to whatever, $100 million, you'll be able to count your money, but you'll be doing it with the Fed coin or Fed dollar. So let me go over now and let him finish. But I'm just raising your awareness of what's happening, and you go ahead.
Over to do something else. I said, oh man. And I thought about that about an hour ago. Sorry.
Okay. So I'm raising awareness so that you guys will be aware of what's going on, so that you will be ahead of the game as opposed to being behind. All right, let's go back to the video.
Okay.
And monitor its citizens' transactions. Now, I hope this never comes to pass, but if it does, it would spell the biggest assault on our freedoms we have ever seen. Now, that is just my 2 Satoshis on the silent rise of all of those CBDC benefits like tax automation, deepen state control, and monitor its citizens' transactions. Now, I hope this never comes to pass, but if it does, it would spell the biggest assault on our freedoms we have ever seen. Now, that is just my 2 Satoshis on the silent rise of corporate payment oligopolies and government CBDCs. I'll let you judge if those fears are well-founded. All right, team, that's all I have time for today. But I do wish to share a few closing thoughts. Yes, crypto markets are looking rosy, and I'm sure many of you have made a tidy profit recently. However, in all that hype, it's easy to lose sight of just why crypto is so damn valuable. It can act as a store and transfer of value that operates outside the traditional financial system. That's a system that's run by payment providers which have way more power than most people think. This shift to a cashless society is happening, and I can see how it further consolidates power into the hands of a few. I thought it was really important to share that with you and warn you about the pitfalls of those CBDCs too. That way, if my fears come to pass, you can tell your family and friends what the deal is and tell them exactly how to preserve their freedoms. This crypto bull market we are in is obviously delightful. However, I smile to myself when my mates tell me about their cash-out strategies to fiat. I then proceed to tell them exactly what I've told you in this video. Then I ask them this one single question. If all this comes to pass, why wouldn't people cash out their fiat to crypto? Now that's something to think about indeed. That's it. My warning on those payment overlords and those CBDCs. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts though. Do you think my fears are overblown? Are you fine with those who hold the reins of the current payment system? Hit me up below. And also, while you're checking out that video description, I recommend you head over to my socials page. It's got all the links to my social channels where you can access content and tips that I share nowhere else. It's completely free, so no excuses. And finally, if you got value from this video, then help this crypto guy achieve his mission to become the biggest crypto YouTuber this year. You can cast your vote by smashing that like button. And don't forget to subscribe or I'll delete your Pornhub account. I bet you thought that was all. Well, I always leave the best for last. And because you made it to the end of that video, I have something to share. This is my weekly email newsletter. It's my way of succinctly crystallizing my views on the crypto markets for the week ahead. And nowadays, I also share unique insights as well as juicy coin tips. So, keen to be a part? Well, you better check out the description where I've linked to a sign-up form. All you need to do is enter your email address and hit submit. Be sure to confirm your email, and that's it. You are now locked, loaded, and ready to receive my next email. Oh, and it's weekly. I hate spam, and you won't be getting any from me.
Okay, so I'm like him. I want to know, first of all, you can go to YouTube. I would suggest everybody go to YouTube and hit the subscribe button. Y'all see the subscribe button down here?
Yes.
Okay. Go to YouTube, find him. The name of his channel is Coin Bureau. COIN space BUREAU, and subscribe. And you also can subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. Go over and first we'll get you to go over, subscribe to his, and you want to hit the bell, subscribe, hit the bell, and give him a thumbs up. Okay. You can do it right there. Now, for me, for you subscribing to my YouTube channel, you just go over and type in Earl Dixon. I got a video out there today that's very informative. Matter of fact, one of our Miss Taylor is up here right now, and Miss Taylor saw this video because they sent her a notification that I had just posted a new video. The video that I just posted is right here. It says HODL ST interview with the founder of HODL ST. I did a personal interview with him about that coin and exactly what the HODL ST coin is and how you can benefit from becoming a member of HODL ST. It was a one-on-one special interview. I'm the only person who have ever interviewed him. His first interview was a couple of days ago. I did an interview with, let me go to my channel. I'm gonna click here. And you can, once you come over to my channel, you also can click the subscribe button as well. So there's two videos that if you want to know about HODL ST, you don't need a link. It'll show you in the video right here, this video and that video. Okay. This is the first interview that I did with him. It already got 385 views. Okay. I did a one-on-one personal interview when he first got started. And then I did an interview, I think last Sunday. I did an interview with the owner of that platform last Sunday. So you can come over to my channel and hit that subscribe and like button and get all my videos and the notifications. And I'm gonna start doing more and more video YouTube trainings as well, as opposed to just doing everything on Facebook. But by connecting to the Coin Bureau, every time we go back over to him, by connecting to Coin Bureau, let me type in Coin, C-O-I-N Bureau, B-E-A-R-U. Every time you do a video, come over here, click on Coin Bureau, bam. And all of these videos, you get access to all of these videos. All right. You got a lot of education over here that you guys need to know about. Okay. Awesome. Okay, now I'm gonna stop screen sharing. And he said he wanted feedback. Now, I want some feedback from you guys. Okay, Taylor, how you doing? Are you plugged in, Taylor? You hear me? All right. You get a chance, unmute yourself. Okay, Taylor, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, wonderful. So, what did you learn from the video today?
Well, I just jumped in about 5 minutes ago, but I kind of knew about the cashless society coming just from, I'm a spiritual person, so it's been talk in my family. But, you know, I just learned a lot about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency within the last 3 weeks. I've just actually got into the market, so everything's really new to me, but I think that this is going to be big, stumbling on all of our freedoms, and that this is something that I need to prepare for with my family. So I definitely want to be one step ahead of the game.
Well, you're taking the right steps right now. I hope some of my videos and my presentations that you've been connected to, I got you in some of our groups now. What we need is more people like you who is going to get this information and take it serious and take it back to your family members and show them why they need it. What I do, I focus on showing people why they need to get involved in cryptocurrency. Okay. So whenever you introduce this to your family, in order for them to not to think that it's multi-level marketing, you want to be able to show them why they need it. And we have a video that we normally show that talks about the bank making $3,333 on our money. And Taylor saw that video. She saw me do that video on YouTube, and it really caught her attention as well, because she's a member of my YouTube channel, and she got my attention, and we've been collaborating, and now we connected. Hopefully, we're connected forever now. So, anybody else want to talk about what you saw, and what's your opinion about what you saw? Just go ahead and tell me what you saw and what you think about what you saw. Don't all y'all go at the same time.
Well, I see that gold and silver and Bitcoin is the way to go right now.
Right. Well, let's talk about that for a second. You know, what people okay, so people traditionally, like we saw a video the other night that said a person had their money, they said they had 25% of their money in cash, 25% of their money in equities, 25% of their money in gold, and 25% of their money in cryptocurrency. Well, a hedge fund owner just recently changed his portfolio. He put 50% of his wealth into crypto. And he now selling his gold. Is called shorting gold. Traditionally, gold had been used as a way to protect money from inflation. So a lot of people was not putting money in gold just to make a lot of profit. They understood that each year that the dollar loses value at 2% each year by inflation alone since 1913. So a lot of traditional investors hedged their money in gold, and gold did go up over the years. Okay, but one thing about it, gold has not diminished in value; it went up. So now, with cryptocurrency making over 100% annually, gold investors are shorting gold. That means selling. Shorting means selling gold and taking their gold and buying crypto so that they can get some of those 100% profits. And after they short gold and create a new bag of wealth, they'll come back and hedge that new wealth back into gold as an insurance policy. So when you see traditional investors taking money out of gold to buy crypto, that's a sign that you need to be buying what?
Crypto.
Exactly. That's what you need to be buying. So now, if y'all don't have no more questions about what you saw in that video, do we have any new people? Do we have any more questions before I move on? Because if you had a question about what you saw, I want you to get your question answered. If not, do we have any new people on who have not started their journey with buying Bitcoin at all? Anybody? So if you haven't started yet, you need to get set up with a way to buy some Bitcoin. Okay, there's a couple of ways you can buy Bitcoin. You can buy it with Cash App. You can buy it with Crypto.com. You can also buy it at Xcoin. There's a website called Xcoin. You can go to Xcoin.com, and you can literally buy crypto over at Xcoin. Let me do it. Let me screen share. Let me screen share. And I didn't know that Xcoin even existed, but by collaborating with a young lady, that she do a lot of grants, she taught me that. So let me go to Xcoin. Xcoin, leading exchange platform right here. All right, so you can go over here. You can sign up. I'm gonna go ahead and say allow notifications. Yep, I want the notifications. Allow. I don't mind getting notifications from Xcoin. You can sign up for the account. All right, and have an account. You can just click on. Also, like you can use US dollars to buy Bitcoin. So if you wanted $200, take $200 off your debit card and to turn it into Bitcoin, it'll give you 0.005097. That's the current value of $200 at Bitcoin at the current price of Bitcoin. So if you wanted to get $200 in Bitcoin, you would simply just hit that buy button. And this is what happened. It's going to ask me for my last name, my email address, my date of birth, password. It's asking me to for my password. Hold on. Okay, that's for being a member of that website. Let's see, by using this website, you agree to, yeah, okay. So anyway, so once you put in your information, you're gonna hit the next button, and it's gonna prompt you for your credit card information next. And then it's gonna ask you for a crypto wallet. Right? And most of us got Atomic Wallet. Most of all of you guys got Atomic Wallet. So once you hit that button, it'll charge your credit card. It's gonna ask you to put your received wallet address in. So if you already got an Atomic Wallet set up, and most of us do, all you do, you go over to Atomic Wallet and you copy your received Bitcoin address. And you bring your received Bitcoin address back and you put it on this platform, and it's gonna send that Bitcoin to your Atomic Wallet. And now you will have $200 sitting in your Atomic Wallet in Bitcoin. Is that easy enough, guys?
Indeed.
Yes.
Yep.
So that's another way. Go ahead. That's another way for you to buy Bitcoin. Now, also, I'm gonna give you another secret today. How many of you guys ever use Simple Swap? Anybody ever use Simple Swap?
Nope.
Okay, so let me show you. There's a website called Simple Swap. And then we'll go into the Bitlocity questions and answers and talk about strategy for Bitlocity. So when you go up here, you go to simpleswap.io. Simpleswap.io. And let's just say you got some Bitcoin and you needed some Tron to join a program that you've been that you excited about, did your research about it, but you got Bitcoin, but you don't have no Tron. They say I need Tron to join this program. So you can come over to simpleswap.io and you just got $200 over Bitcoin and you need some Tron. So you come here, and instead of being a whole Bitcoin, you put that 0.0059, which was your $200 that you just bought. All right, let me go to USDT. Hold on. USDT. Let me see if we're going to bring up the dollar amount. Okay, so 0.0059 Bitcoin equal $211. So if I was swapping this telling me that amount that you just bought off of your debit card over there, that is really $211 is what you just purchased on that other website. And then you say, I want to change that. Now, who understand what I just did to get the value of what that Bitcoin was? I chose USDT. This USDT is a stable coin. It don't go up more than $1. It don't go down more than 99 cents. So once you come over and determine how much Bitcoin you want to trade for another coin, you can simply put up USDT over here to figure out how much Bitcoin you need to trade for that coin.
It figures it for you.
Huh?
It figures it for you.
Yeah, if you put USDT over here, it's going to tell you. So let's say you need $30 worth. So that's $200 worth. So let's see 003. Watch what happens. That's $10. So 009 should be about $30. Oh, I'm at 000. I'm at 009. All right, see that's $31. See that? Now if I wanted to transfer that $30 to Tron, because I know that that's $30 worth of Bitcoin, I'll go ahead and change this to Tron now. TRX. Okay, I'll choose Tron. And now it's giving me $30 worth of Tron. That's 1,072 Tron. And that's how much Tron is gonna send to my wallet. So what you would do, you will paste your Tron wallet right here. You go into Atomic Wallet, you copy your Tron wallet, you bring that wallet over here, and you click exchange. You click exchange. And when you click exchange, it's gonna go to the next screen. Let me exchange it for yeah, let me go up here to my wallet right here. Watch this. I got a wallet with some Tron in it. So let me log in this wallet. All right. And I'm gonna put an address so you can see what it'll do next. So right now I got $1,357 worth of Tron in this wallet. So let's say I wanted to buy some more Tron and send it here. So I click on receive. I'm gonna copy this address. I copied it. All right, I'm gonna paste this address right here. Paste it. Now, it knows that I'm changing 0.009 Bitcoin that I got, that I don't want Bitcoin, I want some Tron. So now I'm telling it, exchange my Bitcoin, how much Tron, and I'm telling it where to send it. Okay, so I'm gonna hit the exchange button. It's gonna bring up another screen in just a second. Now it's telling me, it's saying, Earl, I will give you the Tron that you want, but before I give you this Tron, this is how much Tron I'm gonna give you. Send the Bitcoin here. Send the Bitcoin to this address. And when they receive the Bitcoin at this address, then they will send the Tron to the wallet address that I put in there. Y'all understand that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Got that.
How you like that? How you like that?
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. You can get any kind of digital currency you want by using simpleswap.io, and you can send it where you want to send it. You just send the Bitcoin. So you copy this address, you put this in your Atomic Wallet, that's where your Bitcoin is. You go to Bitcoin, you click on send, you paste this address, you send the Bitcoin, and before you know it, now, let me also show you, they show you the process. So when you send, once it says waiting, it's waiting right now for me to send that Bitcoin. Once I send that Bitcoin, it's gonna say confirming. It's gonna go from blue right here to blue right here. Then it's gonna be right here exchanging, kind of like what we do on Atomic Wallet. It's saying it's exchanging Bitcoin for Tron. And then it's gonna say it's sending it to your wallet. And then when they say finished, it should be in your wallet. Awesome. Awesome. Any questions about what y'all just saw?
If I was exchanging Bitcoin for Silica or Win, I can do that as SimpleSwap as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, let's go back over there and see. Well, we're gonna be able to go over and pull up SimpleSwap. Let's go back. All right, so to answer your question, we'll just go down here and see if we can type in Zilliqa, Z-I-L, Z-I-L. There it is, bam. You can change it right there, see that?
Yes.
Okay, let me see if Win is, let me see. Now, Win is an ER20 token. Let's see if Win is there. Okay. So Win is not a token that it support. Okay, but you can do Zilliqa over here because it's not it's not an ER20 coin. Let's see, because it's W-I-N-K, W-I-N-K. Okay, yeah, it's not available on this exchange. But there are,
Wallet would support Win.
well, I buy my Win off of good question. Okay. You say what wallet or where can you buy Win? Is that your question? Where can you buy Win?
Where can I buy it? Yes.
You have if you want to know where to go buy Win, all right, I'm gonna show you how to figure that out. Okay, so you go
I think you can get it on Coinbase.
Okay, you go to CoinMarketCap, and this is a class that I normally charge like $100 to teach what you guys are getting for free. So you need to know how to find any coin that you want and where to buy that coin. So the way you figure out the coin that you want, like she said, Win, W-I-N.
Yeah.
Type in right here, W-I-N. All right, and
Hit
then
BTC too, Earl. Hit BTC.
Get BTC. Okay, awesome.
That's another one, but yeah.
That's where you buying yours.
That's one of the places.
Okay, awesome.
Talking.
Yeah, hey Lulu.
Hey, okay, I almost didn't recognize you.
Okay.
Laura got her some win. So guys, so and also Dina got 1 million of these coins. So
That's right. Yeah.
Everybody need to have a million at their front.
yeah,
I got
so
1 million.
this coin right here, I got 4 million of them. So someday it may hit $1 coin. So if you want a well-kept secret, you can get these coins now for, look, you take $100 and you divide it by 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros in front of an 8. So let's go to the calculator. Let me show you how many coins you can get. So you go to the calculator. Go to the calculator, and you're gonna, all right, we're gonna take $100 that you would spend on a Happy Meal. And never get nothing back with it, and divide it by the price of the coin was 0.0123 4. Let's go back and look at the exact figure. All right, so we put the exact figure in there. All right, that's 4 zeros, 90.75. 4 0 90.75. 90. That's the price of the coin. 75.
Right.
All right, so now it's gonna tell you how many coins you would get for $100. All right, so actually, oh, did I put in too many zeros? Because that's telling you get 1 million. No, that's right. 1,101,928 coins for $100. Now, this coin is a gambling token, and it's for kids use it, and people use it to play games. So if they want to gamble, they can buy these coins and gamble with these coins, or they can use it to play games with. So this coin has a use case. So as win token become more and more popular in the gambling industry, the price of win gonna go up. If it hit $1, you good. You good. So now the question was, where can you buy the coins? Okay, so where can you buy the coins? So you go over to Coin Market Cap, you pull up the coin that you would like to know, which we did. We put it in the search bar, WIN. Okay. Then the name of the coin is Wink, WINK, but the ticker symbol, the 3-letter symbol is WIN, WIN. So now that we're searching and we found it, you're gonna go down, you're gonna click on markets. Market. You click on market right here. And market simply tells you on what exchanges you can buy the coin. So right here, you can get it on Binance. You can set up an account on the Binance exchange, Digifinex, Binance again. See right here, you can use on Binance, you can use USDT to buy the WIN token. Same thing on Digifinex, USDT. So if you got Bitcoin, you go over and exchange your Bitcoin on Simple Swap to USDT. You go log into Binance, and then you can buy the WIN tokens with USDT on that exchange. Let's go down a little bit more. Let's see where else we can buy. What did I just do? Let's go back to markets. All right, go back to markets. Okay. Okay, now we also Hitbit right there. Laura talked about Hitbit. So you can go to Hitbit and you can buy it with USDT. Laura, did you use USDT on yours or you use Bitcoin?
Bitcoin.
Okay. So they're not showing you can buy it with Bitcoin on that website not right now, but you can get it with USDT.
It's been a while since I've purchased mine.
Yeah, but you can
Yes.
you can swap Bitcoin or USDT. Go to the one exchanges to one of these exchanges and sign up for the exchange. Now there are several exchanges. You can sign up for Hitbit, Qcoin, Polynex, All of these different exchanges are available. Now, some of these exchanges will not let U.S. customers sign up. All right. So they'll let you know if you allow. Now, if you got a VPN, everybody say VPN.
VPN.
We know what a VPN is now, don't we, y'all? Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Sure do.
If you got a VPN, they can't track your IP address. And they won't know where you are from. Now, you got to be careful with these sites when you use a VPN, because eventually the site might ask you for your ID. And once they ask you for your ID, you locked in at that point, because you operate in their jurisdiction illegally. As long as you can make your transactions and get out of there, and you know, don't cause no red flags, you good. But if they ask you for your KYC information, which means you got to provide front and back of your driver license, like they did it to me. Guys, they had $11,000 of my money on Hitbit. And I had been using Hitbit for like 3 years. And then all of a sudden I get ready to go move a couple of $1,000s off their website. And they said, your money is locked down until you do a KYC. Yeah. And it took like 4 days for them to get back with me and approve my KYC before I could move my money off their platform, because they're not dealing with United States customers. Yeah, they're not supposed to. But anyway, you know, so if you can find one of these that does not have a red flag on U.S. customers, you're in good shape. Now I'm gonna do like that guy did a few minutes ago. Ring, 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 ring. Dixon, yeah, the Bitcoin man. You got to tell them that you're not a financial advisor, that everything you're doing is up here, stuff that you do, and they can follow your strategy if they choose to, but they're at their own risk. Okay, my lawyer said for me to tell y'all that that I'm not a financial advisor, that all we doing over here for education purposes, and if you use those strategies, you're using them at your own risk. Did y'all hear that?
I heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's smart.
Yeah. So now let's talk about Bitlocity and what you should be doing with Bitlocity. So, oh glory. So guys, it's happening, and Bitcoin is going to do what Bitcoin is going to do for the millionaires now, and Bitcoin is going to go up exponentially over the next 12 months. And a lot of people can't afford just to buy a lot of Bitcoin, but you can take some of the money that you have and take it from dumb money and turn it into smart money, and you can start leveraging your money into Bitcoin, like I've been teaching you, to get some of these profits. Now that you guys have learned how to put money in Bitcoin and let Bitcoin start working for you, it becomes a lifestyle. It really becomes a lifestyle. You know, like a guy called me last night at 2 o'clock in the morning, and he needed some Ethereum. The banks were closed last night at 2 o'clock in the morning. He was trying to make a transaction because in order to transfer his money, he needed some Ethereum in his wallet to transfer his money out. So he was able to send me $25 in cash out, and I was able to send him $25 in Ethereum so he can take his $4,000 off the platform, because he needed some Ether to move it off the platform. So, you know, once you start getting used to doing this kind of stuff, right, and you're using your digital currency and you're seeing yourself making some profit, okay? Now, if you can't afford to buy whole Bitcoin at $36,000, your goal is to find a system. Everybody say a system.
A
System.
A system that will allow you to start accumulating unlimited Bitcoin. So this program called Bitlocity is one of those systems that will allow you, and I got a term that I'm gonna have to copyright because I don't want nobody to steal my term. It's called people mining Bitcoin. People mining, like when you go to a gold mine, instead of mining gold, you mine Bitcoin. Now, what does that mean? That means that of the 20 million Bitcoin, 21 million Bitcoin that's going to be created, 18 million has already been done. We only got 3 more million before we'll be at 21 million. And then 6 million of the 21 million is lost. So that's gold. That's really gold, guys. Trust me. It's gold. And you need to try to get as much of that gold as you can before all the Bitcoin is sold and the millionaires try to finish getting all that they can before you get your hands on it. So now, I'm going to show you guys something. I didn't know I was going to do this. But I'm going to show you something now. I'm going to screen share because this is already set up if I can get to it. I was doing a presentation yesterday, preparing for a presentation. And I was, let's see if this is the right one. Wink. Grayscale. Okay, so right here, when I showed this right here, Grayscale investment of the 14 million Bitcoin left, how many Bitcoin did this company buy already, guys? Right here.
17,000.
17,000.
That's at one time, y'all. One time they bought 17,000 at one freaking time. So if they buying 17,000, that 14 million gonna be gone soon. So you got institutional investors now saying, "Hey, man, there's nothing else out there that's gonna help us make 9 million% in 8 years. So we got to get it now before we them people get it in their hands. Because once the people get in their hands and they start holding on to it, it's gonna be hard for us to get it. So now what they're doing, they buying them in thousands at a time. So that's Grayscale investment, buying thousands at a time. Let's see who else we got right here. Let's see. MicroStrategy. Okay, here go MicroStrategy. So MicroStrategy right here, MicroStrategy have now holds $1 billion in Bitcoin. Do y'all see that? One company has bought $1 billion in Bitcoins. So his total holdings is, let's see. It says right here they announced that it had purchased an addition. So when they purchased $650 million worth, that was 29,000. Y'all see that? 29,000 at one time. Y'all see that? Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah. And then go down to here. So now, as of to date, as of December the 21st, the company now holds a total of 70,000 Bitcoin. If companies are buying 70,000 Bitcoin at one time, how long do you think the 14 million will be available?
Not long.
Thank you.
long.
Thank you. So if you people mine Bitcoin and get Bitcoin in your possession, these billionaires, when they get it, they're going to hodl it, and it's going to force the price of Bitcoin to go up. Someday you may have, Bitcoin may be $1 million a coin. $1 million a coin. So the reason I brought you tonight is because you got to have a strategy to get your family involved so y'all can people mine Bitcoin. People mining Bitcoin means that we take the circulating supply that's already created of the 21 million. And those Bitcoin exist. And we have a system that will allow us to accumulate as many of those existing Bitcoin without having to mine them with computers. The people joining the platform, sending Bitcoin to each other, we're accumulating Bitcoin because we're just sharing the gospel of Bitcoin with people, and we get paid to do that. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
That's it. You're gonna get Bitcoin for sharing with people so they can get some Bitcoin with Bitlocity. So now you said, Earl, why would I even take my money and put my money in Bitcoin? So in a video interview with Michael Saylor said over the next, how many of y'all have not seen the Michael Saylor video? How many of you guys did not hear Michael Saylor say that the dollar was dying of a slow death and you're gonna lose 15% of your purchasing power over the next 5 years? How many of y'all have not seen that video?
I have not seen it.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up that video. It's a 4-minute video. And it's worth everybody here seeing. Hold on. It's a 4-minute video and it's worth everybody seeing. Now, hold on. Because you need to know when you talk to your family members, why, and they say, you would say, come join this program where we're gonna get this Bitcoin. They said, why would I do that? And you want to tell them that, I'm gonna just break it down to you. The dollar is gonna lose 15% of its purchasing power. 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 15% of its p over the next 5 years. So whatever you can go into a grocery store with, I want you to do this. I want you to go to a grocery store and buy $100 worth of goods. Put in your shopping cart. Put in your shopping cart. And then I want you to take 75% of what you put in that shopping cart out. Because within the next 5 years, all you're gonna be able to get is that 25% that's left in that basket. That's gonna be your $100 in the next 5 years. Y'all understand what I just said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your $100 is going to lose 75%. If you keep your money in the dollar, you're going to lose 75% of the purchasing power, because we have printed 1/3 of all paper money that has ever been printed was printed in 2020. Since the United States been printing money, we printed 1/3 of all paper money was printed last year. That means it's going to die not at 2% annually. It's going to die at 15% annually over the next 5 years. And your people need to understand that. Our kids and our grandkids and our mamas and our daddies, we all need to understand the state of our money. And poor people got to get to the point now where you start understanding the power of your dollar and how to leverage it to keep it from dying while it's in your hands. Because once it's died, it's dead. And you see the millionaires moving toward crypto, what should you be doing?
Moving toward crypto.
Thank you. Follow the money. Follow the money. So let's go over. I'm gonna pull up the Michael Saylor video for you guys. I'm gonna let you listen to the 4 minutes. We did it yesterday. I did it on this symposium yesterday, which some people didn't appreciate it. They didn't understand why they needed to see this. Some people did. They really enjoyed it. But maybe you guys can get appreciation from this 4 minute that's gonna be life-changing to show you why you need to get out of cash. And that guy told you on the video a while ago, but this is gonna emphasize what he told you on the video just then. So look, so let's go here on screen share. All right, going to YouTube. I'm gonna find, okay, go to my YouTube channel. I played that video so it should come up in my history.
You can now get this ingenious face mask for free. Here's why they're giving.
All right, so let me go to my YouTube channel. I pull up my history. I played it yesterday, so it should be right in my history. All right. Let me scroll down. Michael Saylor. Right here, this video right here.
And this is a key part of it.
All right, so now this guy right here is a multi-billionaire. And see, guys, okay, so let me stop the video. How many of y'all guys ever heard of the 1%ers? How many of y'all ever heard people talk about the 1%ers, the richest people in the world? How many of y'all ever heard about?
I have. Yes.
Who else? Who else?
Yeah.
Who else? Who else? Who else?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have.
Okay, so you hear about them people who rule the world with money. You hear about those people who rule the world. I want you to listen to this conversation because, you know, as poor people, seriously, people with limited amount of cash, the type of conversation that you hear this man, when he talk about how they got $650 million laying around in cash, wouldn't you like to have $650 just laying around? I'm like, oh my goodness, you know, when you listen to when you hear the 1%ers talk, you know, because they got it, you know, because they got it. And then you listen to some of their investment strategies, you know, I can just about cry because when it comes to education in our nation, we thought that we really was a country that had quality education. But when it comes to teaching you how to get a return on your investment in your education, guys, they have duped us. They have duped us. So
Yeah, they have.
yeah, I mean, okay, so now what I want you to pick up in this conversation is this. Here's a multi-billionaire that is used to not making bank interest at 0.6%. He was used to making at least 5% annually using treasury notes, okay? And now he see that he can't make that 5% off of his treasury note, so now he coming to Bitcoin. He ain't gonna put his money in Bitcoin because he's gonna make 100%. But I need you to hear him say that himself. So that's why I want you to understand why you need to be strategizing with Bitlocity, because I'm gonna show you how you can make some good money with Bitlocity in a few minutes. But you gotta get off your butts and start having these conversations now with everybody need at least 10 people for you to sponsor. It's kind of like when we were going to vote recently. Kind of like what they did in Atlanta when they needed those 2 House seats. And they encourage people to get out and vote. You got to go out and connect and find 10 people that you want to bless with cryptocurrency. And you got to be vigilant about doing that, because this window is closing. I don't know how many Bitlocity is going to continue to be able to exist to get the Bitcoin into the hands of the common person. This is a door of opportunity that's literally what? Closing. So let me go ahead and screenshot. All right, so now this is an interview with Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy. He's going to tell you why he's moving his cash.
What up, Hyperchange? Welcome to another episode. Today we have a really fascinating discussion lined up about Bitcoin. We have Michael Saylor on the line. Michael, welcome to Hyperchange.
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so you are going to go down as either one of the most crazy geniuses of all time, or just someone that was totally crazy with the recent move you've made by putting a huge amount of your company's cash, instead of holding it as cash, moving it into essentially Bitcoin. And this is following a move that I think Square did that, but you put a huge amount of your cash into it. And I thought this was a fascinating move that is potentially, leading to a very ahead of the curve thing that many, many companies might start doing. And so I'm curious if you could give us a little bit of background on what the company is that you run and how you decided to put a bunch of your cash into Bitcoin.
Sure. Well, I run an enterprise software company. I started it in 1989. I took it public in 1998. We sell business intelligence software to big banks, governments, retailers, organizations everywhere on earth, about 27 different subsidiaries. And, we grow like, it's stable, or we grow 5% a year. It's not like a 20, 40, 50% hyper growth company at this point. It's fairly mature, well run. We generate a lot of cash flow. And when we came into the year 2020, we had like $600 million in cash, and we were generating some cash, and we were saving our money for a rainy day. And we had.
Now here you go. He's saving. Listen to this. This guy's saving $600 million for a rainy day. Did y'all hear that? 600. He's saving $600 million for a rainy day. How many of y'all saving $600 million for a rainy day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
More like $6.
I mean, I just like hearing these guys. Just keep listening. Just keep listening.
We try to be conservative. We bought back hundreds of millions of dollars of our stock.
Hey, look, he's trying to be conservative.
Hundreds of millions of dollars of his stock.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, he's being conservative, he said. Pay attention.
And we were investing the rest in short-term treasuries. And I remember when short-term treasuries used to yield 5%, and we would have been getting 30, 40 million a year. And it felt like, okay.
Look, 30 or 40 million a freaking year. That's what he's used to. At 5%, he's making 30 or 40 million per year. 1 million would be good for the average person. Here we go.
Okay, responsible. And then the Fed just systematically cranked down the interest rates until it got to zero. And then we realized that, the cash generates nothing. And then the investors successfully told us they didn't value the cash as anything. Their view was it's just a lump of lead on the balance sheet. And the company it's almost like a liability. Like your cash is a liability. You either need to buy the stock back or give it to us as a dividend.
So let me stop it there for a minute. So we're going to have, So what you learned about your cash so far, guys?
That is devaluating. And then the bank is getting more use out of it than we are.
Yep. They leverage it. And guess what they're doing with your money now? They're not telling you, but guess what they're doing with your dollars?
making more dollars.
They probably buying Bitcoin right now with your money. Think about if you can put $100 in, they can take it over and buy Bitcoin and then just give you $100 back when you come and make a withdrawal. Wouldn't that be a good system? Yeah. Yeah. And it's legal. It's legal for them to do that right now. Here we go. So cash is dying. So if you're holding your family's worth in cash, you in for a big awakening. Remember, we don't sell anything. We're a system of education and duplication. We learn and we teach what we learn. We're not selling anybody anything.
To get any credit for it. So we got to March and we thought, well, we have a lot of treasury cash for a rainy day. And then the rainy day came and it was pandemic. And when the pandemic hit, we actually found that everybody wanted the software. The software business is better than ever because we're just selling software to big enterprises and the like. But our costs decreased because now we couldn't do marketing events and we couldn't travel, and we couldn't stay in hotels, and we couldn't go on airlines. And so the company went from having a lot of cash and generating a bit of cash to having a lot of cash and generating a lot of cash. And simultaneously,
and that's a big problem to have, man.
Having a lot of cash and having a lot of cash.
That's a big problem. How many of y'all need that problem where your cash is generating a lot of cash? How many of y'all need that problem?
I need
that.
Yeah.
I need it now.
Yep.
Hold on, let me just stop this for a second. Do you see the difference in the mindset of the wealthy compared to the average poor person? You know, he got a problem with cash generating more cash. We're trying to get that problem, right or wrong?
Right.
Okay, let's go back. You might want to hang around some billionaires more often. Let's see.
We saw all these financial assets have a V-shaped recovery. And then we saw Main Street have a K-shaped recovery. You know, the famous K-shaped recovery where restaurants and airlines and hotels and amusement parks and theaters don't seem to be coming back. And yet all of these stocks and bonds are shooting through the roof. So on one hand, I realized I have a lot of cash. On the other hand, I realized I was going to generate a lot of cash. And then I realized it was worthless. And I realized it was worthless because the monetary expansion rate went from about 5% a year to 15% a year. And we actually expanded the money supply by 24% a year in the US this year. So everybody knows about money printing and all the stimulus. Well, I went from not caring to thinking, well, we'll save the cash, get a yield on it, and figure out what to do with it, to realizing that we're going to lose about 15% of our purchasing power every year for the next 4 to 5 years. And so a block of 500 million in cash looks like a melting ice cube. And it felt like highly certain that we were going to lose half of that money in 36 to 48 months if we did nothing. And so we arrived at the Bitcoin investment when we realized that cash is a liability, not an asset. We have to invest in something that'll beat the cost of capital. The cost of capital is the rate of M2 monetary expansion. It's the rate at which the currency is losing purchasing power. And so if the currency is losing purchasing power at 15% a year, then we're all going to lose half of our wealth in 36 to 48 months.
Wow.
And this is a key part of the thesis. Yeah. And then I wanted to just dive a little deeper here. So why aren't we seeing inflation of prices go up that much? Maybe we are in equity assets, but I'm curious of like, a lot of people will be like, okay, well, why is there no inflation? But you're saying pricing power goes down 15%. Can you help us break that down a little?
Yeah, because inflation is it's a defective idea. There is inflation. There's inflation in everything that you want to buy. It's just not tracked by the Fed. For example, Hampton's real estate is up 50% in 16 weeks. How is it not inflation when the beach house you wanted in the Hamptons is 40% or 50% more expensive in 3 months? And there's inflation in assets. There's inflation in bonds. There's inflation in stocks. There's inflation in real estate. There's inflation in gold. There's inflation in scarce art. There's inflation in everything scarce. There's inflation in, by the way, the inflation measure that the central bank tracks is a market basket of consumer goods and services that do not include the highly volatile food and energy. By the way, they don't include food, energy, and assets. So you tell me, in what universe do you live in that you can live without food, energy, or assets? If you want to watch streaming Netflix or YouTube videos for the rest of your life, then there's no inflation. So what's going on right now is that the popular media, mainstream media, and the central banks, they're making a lot of noise about no inflation, and they're lamenting the lack of inflation, and that's the excuse to lower the interest rates and print money. But the point is, why in the world would you actually be concerned about the rate of inflation of a market basket of things you don't need? Right? The inflation rate that you should be concerned about is the inflation rate of food, energy, and assets. And if you were to take, say, the inflation rate of bonds, the 10-year bond was yielding 250 basis points about a year and a half ago, and then it was yielding 50 basis points, which means it went up from $2 million to $10 million in 12 months. So how is that not inflation? It's hyperinflation of assets.
Yeah,
it's just that people have defined a metric which is meaningless, and so it's inflation is a vector, Galileo. It's not a scalar. It's not one number. I can calculate the inflation rate of assets, food, energy, real estate in the Hamptons, beachfront property in the Florida Gold Coast, or I can calculate the inflation rate of streaming YouTube videos. And streaming YouTube videos are going to have a very low inflation rate. And houses and beachfront property and Picassos are going to have a high inflation rate. And you can have any number you want between minus 10% and plus 30%, depending upon what you want to put in that basket.
Yeah, and I totally agree. I was just kind of playing devil's advocate because I think that's a big thing that the mainstream is missing. And what I call this is the great awakening. That's sort of my millennial word.
So that's gonna stop right there. So I woke y'all up. So now, you got it, you heard it, you understand it. I don't have to beat a dead horse dead. Your money is dying. If you don't find a way to give yourself a lifeline, you going down with your money. Just that simple. Cash is not king no more. Countries around the world is shorting the dollar. Then people are shorting gold. They're using dollars to get crypto. They're using gold to get crypto. So what are we waiting on? So now let's do an example. So I'm gonna show you something that's so crucial to you. I'm going to the calculator. This is why you need at least 10 people in Bitlocity. Your starting figure should be finding at least 10 family and friends for you to get in Bitlocity. Why? Because I'm gonna show you the numbers. So let's go to the calculator. So you go to calculator, and we're gonna do some numbers real quick. So this is a fact, okay? A fact of the matter is Bitcoin is at $36,000 tonight. 36,000. So if you take 36,000, I want y'all to really get these numbers. 36,000. All right. You multiply that times 0.003. That gives you $108. Y'all see that on the screen? Y'all see that?
Yes.
Okay, so if you take $100 in Bitcoin today at 36,000, when that $100, when that Bitcoin get to $100,000 this year, I'm gonna show you what that 0.003 is worth when it hit 100,000. So let's clear the calculator. So now let's assume Bitcoin go to 100,000. So you take $100,000. Then who's gonna push this up to 100,000 for us? Based on what I showed you tonight, who's gonna make Bitcoin go to 100,000?
The whales.
The whales.
Michael Zeller.
Yeah, the Michael Zeller's gonna push it there. The question is, are you gonna have some when they push it to 100? What are you gonna have? What are you gonna get out of it? What are you gonna get out of it by them pushing it to Because if you ain't got no Bitcoin, you won't get these profits. You will not get these profits. So now what you do? You take $100,000. All right, that's 100,000 times 0.003. So $100 just turned into how much money? Come on. How much is your $100 worth when Bitcoin hit 100,000?
300.
300. 300. Just by taking $100 out of dumb money, and even if you don't make no profit on it, come into Bitlocity, but just by putting it into Bitcoin, you're gonna turn 100 into 300, guys. Now remember, if you leave it in cash, you're gonna lose 15% a year. I just showed you how to make 300% on your money. Did you all getting this?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, what if Bitcoin hit 200,000? Watch this. Clear. Because I think they're being conservative at 100,000. So we're gonna say 200,000. Shoot for the stars, and you reach the moon, you good. All right, so that's 200,000 times 0.003 equals. How would you like to get 600 for every 100 you put in Bitcoin? Yeah.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be nice? Now the dollar's down to slow down. Dollar down to slow down. But Bitcoin, if it hit 200,000, 100 have turned. You see why these billionaires putting their money in Bitcoin?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Now let's
Yes.
just. Okay. Now one more example. All right. Let's say Bitcoin get to the $300,000 level, and you holding on to $100 that you put in now, or you get out of Bitlocity, or you get out of Bitlocity. 300,000. All right. All right. 300,000. It's 300,000 times 0.003. How much money we got?
900.
Oh yeah. Bitcoin will give you 900 per 100. But the dollars is going to die by 15%. Where would you rather have your money? In Bitcoin. So now, I'm going to show you a strategy. If you bring in 10 people into Bitlocity, and each one of them come with $175. I remember y'all say $175.
$175.
$175. Why $175? Because it costs $25 to sign up for the program. It's going to cost you $25 to get in the Infinity Loop to get unlimited commissions on the $25 level. Every time you loop, you're going to get $25. $25, $25, $25, $25. You come in the $50 level, you're going to get $50 over and over again without referring a soul. Without you referring a soul. $50, $50, $50 over and over again. Every time you loop, you can get $50. So that's right there is what? That's 25 plus 25, that's 50. Plus $50 for the Infinity Loop, that's $100. And then you put in $75 for the leverage system, where you'll get half of whatever somebody bring into your organization. You'll get half of it. Half of everything they bring in. Except your third person and your 10th person. You can get half. So now, think about this. If everybody come in, you bring in 10 people, watch the power of this, I'm doing the calculator. You bring in 10 people and you getting, because you sign up on the $75 level, you bring in 10 people directly with your link, you're gonna get half of the upper, which is $37.50, because you're getting half of everything in the unit level, and you're gonna get half of everything in the bottom, because it puts you in both leverage and the 1x3 matrix. It puts you in both of them on the $75 level. So when any person that come in with $75, you're gonna get 100%. And I hear you say 100% of that $75. Can I hear you say that?
100% of $75.
100% of $75.
You're gonna get that whether they upgrade or not. You're gonna get that, period. That's a minimum you're gonna get, except on your number 3 and your number 10. That's your 2 pass-ups. Now, so if you brought in 10 people and you got 75 from each one of those people, that's $750. 10 times 75 equals what? $750. Y'all got that?
Mm-hmm.
But you only came in with how much money though?
$25.
$25.
You came in with 175 total, but 10 people came in, you're gonna get $75 from 10 people. So right there, that's $750. So now let's go to the calculator. So $750. Watch this, $750. I'm just trying to show you how much money you're leaving on the table. If you don't do this Bitlocity program and get 10 people to save them, you're saving their lives. $750, right? You get that. That's from 10 people. Now, we got to determine how much money that is of a Bitcoin. So if 0.003, go to the calculator. All right, so you go to the calculator, and we said 36,000 times 0.003 equals 100. So 0.02, I think it's 0.02 equal, let's see, that's $720. All right, so let's just use 720. All right, so if you, and 720 is your 750 that you getting, we're just rounding down. So if you get $720, that's 0.02 of a Bitcoin. Okay, now what does that mean for you when Bitcoin hit 100,000? Just if you just brought 10 people onto your platform and all you got is $720 in Bitcoin. What did that mean for you when Bitcoin hit $100,000? Okay, I'm gonna show you what that means. You take 36,000, I mean, you take 100,000, and you multiply it times 0.02. Now, your $175 is gonna net you $2,000. Got that? In Bitcoin. When Bitcoin hit 100,000, that 750 is no longer 750, it's $2,000. Now let's do another number. Clear it, calculator. Bitcoin hit 200,000 times 0.02. We should already know this number. It doubles. That's $4,000. And all you did was you tried to save 10 of your family members to keep them from going down with a dying dollar. If you guys had parents or family members that was gonna die of cancer and you could save them, would you not save them?
Yes.
Well, I'm trying to show you how to save them financially, because they're gonna die financially if they do not understand what's going on with the monetary system. All right? This is real stuff. We're at war. We're at war. Literally, we're at monetary war. And after a while, monetary wars go to physical wars. I'm just letting you know that now. So now, let's go to 300,000. So Bitcoin hit 300,000 by the end of next year, and you got $700 out of Bitlocity, which is 0.02 times 0.02. You would end up having $6,000 in value. And all you used was what? Come on, help me. How much money you use out your pocket to start with Bitlocity?
175.
Yeah. And that don't include your money you get from your loops. You might get 5,000 in a year from your loops. Because if you cycle 10 times with $25, that's $2,500 right there. If you cycle 10 times with $50, that's 5,000 right there. 100 times. So they bring 1 million people into this business in the next 12 months, which they probably would do. And you cycle 1,000 times with the $50 level, that's $5,000. And then you bring in a me. So what you mean you bring in a me? When you do that $75, if you bring me in with I get your link, you bring me in. I come in with 5,000. You can get half of everything that I buy. So this is the story. So on the leverage system, when you pay your $75, it's like going to Walmart and you cut a deal with Walmart. Walmart says that they know stimulus checks is coming and they know income tax is coming. So you get a phone call from Walmart. They call up Jana King. They say, Jana King said, what's up, Walmart? You say, listen, Jana, say, I know your family and your friends ready to get them stimulus checks and they're ready to get them income tax checks. And girl, I got a deal for you. So what's the deal, Walmart? Say, what's the deal? If you bring them to Walmart, if you pay $75, Jana, you bring them with them checks over here with us, we're gonna let you get 50% of everything they buy in the store. Y'all got that?
Yep.
We going to Walmart.
You can get 50% of everything they buy in the store. Now, you know, black folks in the hood gonna spend what? All that money. Woo! I think look, in 1 month, 30 days, they gonna have no income tax check money left. It's gonna be gone. So Walmart saying, I'm gonna be a lifeline for you. Bitlocity is a lifeline for you. It said if you bring them into Bitlocity, they're gonna get them checks, y'all. They're gonna get them checks, y'all. They're gonna get them checks, y'all. Yeah. If you bring them to Bitlocity, they're gonna give you 50% of every level that they buy in Bitcoin. You can get 50% of them. Now, what's the levels? 75, 100, 200, 500, 750, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, and 100,000. If you pay $75, you literally gonna get half of everything that so let's say I come in at 5,000. Dina brought me in. Dina brought me in at $5,000. She paid the $75. The computer system gonna say, okay, Dina brought Earl in, and on the upper part, which is called the leverage system, that's a unilevel going from left to right. Every person she bring in, the first person, second person go side by side from the left one all the way to the right. They're her direct referrals. The first thing you're gonna do when she bring me in, the first person on her unilevel is gonna say you directed to Dina. Now, what did Dina get? So think of this. I'm gonna show y'all something. Y'all see this little object I got in my hand? This little object out of my hand right here. So think of this as being a lemon. So you can take a lemon, you can cut a lemon in half. Everybody say half.
Half.
You cut the lemon in half. Now, when you cut a lemon in half, it's 2 parts of that lemon. So the upper half of the lemon, every time somebody buys something, you're gonna get half. Period. You're gonna get half. So there's 2 parts. You cut a lemon in half, you got an upper half and a bottom half. So we're looking at the upper half. Now, so in the upper half, you get everything that they buy. You get half of the 75. You get half of that 37.50, because I came to 5,000. At 37, which is half. What's half of 75, guys?
37.50.
37.50. That's half of the lemon, right? Isn't that half of the lemon?
Yeah.
Your lemon is $75. That's half. Half is 37.50. Now, also, you bought the $100 level. Half of that equal $50. You're gonna get that too. The upper half. Half of the $200, that's 100. Half of the 500, I bought that too, 250. Half of the 750, that's 375. You get half of that. Half of the 1,000, that's 500.
500.
You can get half of that. Half of the 2,000, that's 1,000. You'll get. Everybody say half. I get half.
I get half. I'm rich. I'm rich.
So you can get half of the 2,000. That's 1,000, and you can get half of the 5,000. Guys, that's $2,500 in Bitcoin. So let's go over here and look. Let's go over here and add this up. Let's go over here and add this up. Calculator. I'm gonna show y'all something. Let's screen share. So go to the calculator. So one person you brought in, they love this platform. They understand people mining Bitcoin. All right. I'll do this. Let me close this up. Give me a minute. Hold on a second. I like to save. When they send me notifications, I like to save my notifications. It's news. It's news. It's news. So anyway, let me go back to the calculator. So now what does that equal to you from one person? Because I'm trying to show you, if you don't put that $75, you don't get none of this. Okay? You can't get half of nothing because the computer system will say, did Dina pay $75? And when it checks to see that Dina didn't pay $75, she don't get half of that lemon of none of those limits. Zero.
What?
You get
Yeah. I need to revisit my link.
Yeah. You don't get half of none of that. All of that is closed to you. You're gonna lose all of that. So now let's look at this. So what would you get if you have just paid that 75 and you brought me in? Because you never know how much of my stimulus check. Remember, we're at Walmart, we shopping. What I buy? This is what I bought. Clear the calculator. First thing I bought was 75 at $37.50. $37.50. So you got $37.50. Plus, I bought half of the 100. That's $50. I bought the $100 level. You got another $50. Okay, I got half of I bought the 200. You got $100. All right. Plus, I bought the 500. So you got $250. You're getting all of that because you paid $75. All right. Plus, I got half of $750. That's $375. Plus, then I bought half of the 1,000. That's 500. Uh-oh, let me clear that up. 500. Oops, too many zeros. Plus, all right, that was 1,000. Then I got 2,000, so that's 1,000. Half of 1,000 equals half of 2,000 equals 1,000. Plus, then I bought the 5,000. Okay, so that was 2,500. Now equals, you got $4,812 off of me, just one person. Do you understand the power of that? Hello?
Yes.
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 One person. One
Just
person.
one person.
One person. One person. Yeah. So if you don't come in on the $75 level, you literally gonna be leaving a whole lot of money on the table. Now, you could bring me in and I do it. On the upper half, you're gonna get, now the bottom half of the limit is still on the table. Y'all got that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The system has a 1x3 on the bottom. Let me show you. Let me see if I can pull up a 1x3. Let me go to Google and pull up a 1x3 matrix. Go to Google, go to images right quick, a 1x3 matrix. Go to images, 1x3. 1x3 matrix. Let's see if they got a good diagram. Let's say 1x3 circle. Let me put circle. Oh, that's 1x3. Let's see, 1x3. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Hold on. 1x3 circle. Let me put circle. RCLE. I can normally find anything I want to on Google. I love Google. I remember how you go to the library, man, back in the day. And I had to go to Ibits and Bibbits. I don't know nothing about no Ibits and Bibbits, dude. Y'all didn't write no term paper when y'all was in high school.
Yes.
I know about them Ibits and them Bibbits. Yes.
Never heard of it.
I'll be off in a minute. All right, so let's see. Let's see.
How much longer, Earl? I gotta serve dinner.
Well, you actually good right now. If you okay, let's do it this way. So what we'll do, because my wife just came here too. You guys understand. You understand the upper part already, the 50% in the upper part, right?
Yes.
You just got
Right.
the upper half.
Right.
Now, when we come out for another Zoom this week, I'll let you know what day. It's probably gonna be. I can do that part tomorrow. Okay, for about a good hour, no more than an hour. We'll go and do the upper part. I mean, the bottom part, where you understand how the money flows to the bottom, because you still got 50% on the table, and you got to know how to qualify for that 50% on the bottom. Okay. Okay, because you just getting the upper 50% is a beast alone by itself. The upper 50% is good, but if you don't put that $75 in, you get none of that. None of that. Now, what if you had 10 people to come in and they all put $5,000 on this platform, and you got $4,812 from 10 people? How much money is that? I'm gonna show you. Go back to the calculator.
You said how much now?
Yeah, you would get. Remember, I showed you a few minutes ago on the calculator that your part was $4,812. All right, so if you got calculator, all right, that's 4,812 times 10. It's 4,812 times 10 people.
Wouldn't it be 8? You had to send 2 up to your sponsor.
There you go. There you go. See, there you go. Because 3, no, okay. Listen, that's good. Just with 10 people. Just with 10 people. But what if you had 2 people out of just 10 people that you got paid off of, was what I'm saying. And he right. 3 and 10. Don't stop at 10, but that should be a minimum number. Okay, minimum number. But he's saying of the 2 people, you got to do pass-ups. That's true. But what if you had 10 people who paid you, is what I'm talking about. And 10 people came in on what, $5,000, and they upgraded to each level, and you got your upper 50% off of 10 people. So if you helped at least 10, that's gonna pay you, not your pass-ups, but 10. So that means you're gonna need at least 12 right there. Okay. So now, with that being said, that's 4,812. And I'm glad that the person highlighted it. That equals $48,120.
120.
And all you paid was how much money? 75 to get
175.
that. That's total 175. But the 75 is what got you that money right there, because if you don't put the 75 in, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that. And guys, that right there is $48,000. That's in cash. When Bitcoin hit 100,000, you're probably looking at $480,000. See that? That's current price of Bitcoin. They'll include when Bitcoin hit 100,000. We're gonna do those more numbers when I come back, because you need to know how much that'll be when Bitcoin hit 100,000, how much it'll be when you hit 200,000, and how much it'll be if Bitcoin hit 300,000. When we come out to our next Zoom, I'm gonna show you what that 4,120 is when Bitcoin hit 100,000. That 48,120. Yeah. All right. Now, I hope this has been a good training session, and you guys know why you should be building your teams. Everybody on this platform should have reached out and have 10 people with your link for free. You just by having them, giving them your link, means that you have invited them into the night at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock tonight, Sunday night. You know they do Zoom at 9 o'clock, right? The opportunity calls at 9
Yes.
on Sunday night at 9 o'clock. Sunday night at 9 o'clock. You got somebody working from home, that no job going to pay you this kind of money. All you do is invite a person to the webinar, say, listen, come listen to them talk about this Bitcoin, because you can make some good money. You don't try to explain the program. Give them a lifeline. Let the muscle, let them be your mouthpiece for you. Let them do the presentation. You just invite them. Come and look what people are doing in our community. Come and look at how they are people mining and accumulating this Bitcoin for themselves. And all it's going to cost you, don't tell them up front, I was going to call. They're letting them call you and say, how much do I got to pay to get started? You say, well, minimum amount you can come in, I mean, for you and your family. Guys, also, let me tell you this in case God take me home tonight. You don't see me tomorrow. You need to put at least your children in the program on a different device with at least the 25, the 25, and the 50. Because they're not going to recruit nobody. But they're going to get free Bitcoin for the 25, free Bitcoin for the 50. How could you not do that for your kids? You understand what I just said?
Mm-hmm. Amen.
How can you not invest 75? Is it 25? 25, that's 50. And then the other, that's $100. Invest $100 in your child, that's your college fund. If you think of a college fund that can grow exponentially to infinity, if you put that $100 on this platform, and this joke will last 2 years, watch out. Watch out. Because no thing on loop, 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 and loop. And every time it loop, they're sending that Bitcoin to your kid's wallet. There is nowhere else in the world you can be able to make that kind of money for your $100, turn $100 into that kind of money. So you can use a different device. You can only use one account per device. That means you got a laptop, you can do it. You can do an account. You got a iPad, you can do an account. You got a desktop, you can do it. Fred got 6 devices, him and his wife. They all got a phone. They both all got an iPad, and they all got a laptop. So Fred got 6 devices in his house. So he can set up 6 accounts with the $100. Okay. And he's gonna set up one account with the $175 going up. You know, he may put in 3,000 at one time to get to the $1,000 level to get up there. But at least he's using he gonna remember do an account, 6 accounts for the what? For the $100 program, so that can continue to loop over and over again. I'm putting my kids in. And probably throw, yeah, ain't no problem. I'll put my wife in too. So let's see, 1 device, 2 device. Yeah, so I'm gonna do it for them. That's free money for my family. I'm not, yeah, go ahead, Jeremiah.
If you, as you stated, that you can put your children, your grandchildren, different family members, okay? But if you're in the same house and you have 6 devices, as you said, aren't you using the same IP address?
No, each device has its own IP address.
So even though they're using the same Wi-Fi, it's still
same
Wi-Fi.
Each device has its own IP address on the same Wi-Fi.
All right.
Yep.
I got that. Thank you.
Yep. Yep. Each device has its own internet protocol address. If you're using a phone and you're breaking the law, they're gonna tell you, they gonna look at your Time Warner cable and say you was using Time Warner cable. They're gonna say you did that on your cell phone.
I hear you.
If you use your phone to communicate a threat toward Trump, they're gonna say you use your cell phone and it came from this IP address. If you use your laptop, yeah, and you communicate a threat at Trump, they're gonna say you use your laptop and you sent an email to the White House on your laptop. So whatever device, each device has an IP address. That's how they know who you are on those devices. They know where it came from.
And it'll be time stamped.
And time stamped.
All right, so I gotta go.
All right, all right, guys, I gotta go too. All right, I'll see y'all later.
Thank you.
Yes. Huh?
Are we gonna get a copy of this?
I can get you a copy of this right here. As soon as this renders, I will send this, put this in a group. I will put this in a group, okay?
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, I will put this in a group so that you guys can get a copy of it. Okay.
Thanks, Earl.
All right, you're very welcome. Thank you guys for coming. Let's change the world one person at a time, guys. Let's just
enjoy your dinner.
Yeah, thank you. One person at a time.
All right, hey, Earl, this is James.
Yeah.
Earl, this is James.
What's up,
hey,
man?
Hey, homeboy, I was in and out on your presentation, but check this out. Yeah. I need your link to see. Can I sign up on Bitlocity with your link?
Yeah, this is James that was in my shop today.
Huh?
Which James is this?
James Jeffries.
Oh yeah, you can sign up with my link. Yes, sir. I'll get you the link.
You might have to give me the link.
Bro, don't worry. Say no more. That link coming.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. Thank you for showing up, James.
All right.
All right. Yeah. All right. Anybody else got any questions before we get off?
Jana, do you want to ask Earl about the G99 or?
Is she here?
I don't know. I guess not.
I can call Jana when or have Jana call me in 1 hour, and I will answer a question that she has about.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right, no problem. I'll answer the phone.
Yeah, Earl,
Very
on
good.
G99, could a KPC coin be converted to G999?
I don't know yet, being this is a whole lot of conversation going around. Tammy Morrison was making some comments about oh yeah, okay. I'll see if I can find that thread that Tammy Morrison got. They got a question there where you can ask a question straight to Harold Sykes, and you can click on that and ask Harold Sykes on that question there. How can you get your KBC exchange for the G99? And they said that everybody who asks a question on that questionnaire, they will get feedback from Harold Sykes. So I'll see if I can find that information for you.
Okay, very good.
Okay, awesome. All right. Anybody else?
Thanks for everything, Earl. That was really informative. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, just share it. I'm gonna send this
Share
to
around.
you. Yeah, I'm gonna send this to you guys so you can share it with the people that you know. They
Okay.
need to join your team. All right.
Go eat, Earl.
I gotta go drop off a car. Bye, y'all.
Bye.